Ready?
All right. Yeah. Let's go over. The Michigan Wolverines went. Oh, I'm sorry. No, sorry. The Los Angeles Chargers lost to the Denver Broncos.
Anybody watch the game? I don't know.
16-9. Yeah, I did.
Committed.
Yeah, no. And one of those, like, Dan's like, why are we even watching this? And I started.
That's why I wrote get draft help. That's the only good thing.
Yeah. No. But that's the thing, and for all the people out there that were complaining about Derwin James and saying, hey, you know what? Maybe it's time to play with Derwin James. Y'all saw what the real Derwin James is out there. I mean, the dude flew around. He had like 12 tackles, a sack. He was all over the football. He was laying dudes out. Like, that's the real Derwin James. And I know people had talked about it, and I saw people complaining on Twitter and, oh, hey, maybe that's it for him. No, like this guy's legit. Like, you guys, I know some people forget, but Derwin James is legit. So I definitely think that Derwin's best games are ahead of him, and he's a leader of the defense. You have Justin Herbert as the leader of the offense. You need two building blocks. You have them. You have them in both of them. So I thought that was a good game for him. I know that the one thing that I saw a lot of people complaining about is Quentin Johnston. He only had 3 catches, but I mean, he was shadowed by Surtain basically the whole game. So I mean, I get that as well. Huh?
That's tough for a rookie to get that assignment.
It really is.
No, and
he had some good plays, but I mean, at times Easton didn't even look at him, and I think it's because he didn't want to challenge Surtain. I mean, hell, even guys like Patrick Mahomes and some of these guys don't challenge Surtain. So I mean, I don't remember. I actually thought in that draft, Gilbert, like, I know that they got Rashawn Slater, and that's a solid piece to get. But I actually thought if Patrick Surtain fell to them, I actually thought they were going to take him, like him, and because I don't know where I saw, like, somebody said recently that in Staley's defense you need, and I mean, we all know that in Vic Fangio's defense you need a shutdown corner. I think Patrick Surtain probably could have saved his skin. Like, selecting a Patrick Surtain probably could have saved his
he went
skin,
like 9 or something like that. 8,
yeah. So right now the Chargers would select 6th. So that's another question this weekend. Right now, I think Vegas is the Chargers face the Chiefs. I think Vegas has the Chargers favored in this game, and I think it's because some people think that the Chiefs are going to rest their starters. Gilbert.
Oh yeah, that's gonna suck. Yeah, for them.
Gilbert, I'm sorry, I'm not resting any of those guys. You're not playing well enough to rest.
Yeah, that's true.
You're not playing well enough to rest any of those guys. Like, I saw Travis Kelce dancing on the sideline because they won the AFC West. Dude, like, I know you guys have won 2 Super Bowls, and I know, like, you guys have done some good stuff, but why are you dancing? Like, I don't know. And maybe they're content with everything.
That's my reminder too. You just told me, Fernando. They're actually just stuck at number 3 seed. They can't even get the 2 seed because if Bills win the AFC East, they have the tiebreaker over the Chiefs. If the Dolphins win, they have one more than the Chiefs. So they're already at number 3. Okay. And like, what do you just kind of go for rhythm, like you said, 3 versus 6? Who would be 6 right now? It would be, I guess, the loser of that game, maybe, right?
Yeah, I would go to the half, if anything.
Yeah, see how it goes. You can check the scoreboard at the same. Well, I guess you won't know the Dolphins won at the end because it's Sunday Night Football. But
yeah, but I mean,
maybe a half.
But, like, the Chargers can't F around and win that game. Like, you're in a good position right now, like, to get a good pick and do all that. But just real quick, going to that right now, you have the 6th pick. You're in a good position. I know everybody, man. Huh?
Don't win the game, Chargers. Just find a way to lose it.
Well, again, I'd be surprised if Joey, Keenan, Josh, like, why would you even play any of those 3 guys? Because Josh does give you a chance to win. Keenan gives you a chance to win. Joey gives you a chance to win. Like, I don't know. I just wouldn't play either one of those 3.
Do you have the order in front of you, Fernando, just to kind of see, like, if they win, how much would that hurt them from the teams that maybe behind them could lose a game and pass them up? Like, because I see the Bears keep winning. They probably already passed them up. Who else is around there? Maybe the Giants. Well, the Giants are ahead, right?
Let me get the draft order.
But let me give you some scare. Like, Commanders are ahead. They're gonna probably lose to the Cowboys. The Cardinals are ahead. They're gonna probably lose to the Seahawks. But you never know with them, right? Then the number 1 pick is already secured by the Bears via the way of the Panthers, and you got the Patriots playing the Jets. Ooh, that could be. Ooh, the Jets are might be behind or ahead of the Chargers, Fernando.
No, but the Chargers beat the Patriots.
Yeah, so
the only way,
they would need.
I think because
they would need the Jets to win that game.
No, because the the Chargers beat the Patriots already. So regardless, I think the Patriots would have. Yeah, I think that's how it works.
They're like behind a couple games though.
And then, like, I think if New York beats the Eagles, then the Chargers would get the 5th pick, and the Chargers lose, obviously.
Well, it's all confusing, but we can focus on number 6 at least for now, because I have a lot of questions for you, and I feel like instead they get number 6, like most likely trade down maybe scenario, or maybe they move top 5 because suddenly that Washington quarterback Penix, right? Like people are saying, oh, this guy actually has a nice deep ball. He could make some plays.
I've been saying that for a while. Yeah. Like Athir, I promise you, I'm gonna get right now. It's draft, and then I'm gonna get right to your question after this. I don't know if you trade down, dude. Because again, I don't think Mike Williams is gonna be back. So you need another playmaker on that offense. Malik Neighbors, if Marvin Harrison Jr. for some reason ends up dropping and he's right there for you.
I'm seeing that Jaden Daniels is going to crack the top 5 rounds. So that's Drake May, Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels. That's 3 out of the 5 already taken the quarterback. So you might get a top 3 prospect overall.
I think Penix is better than Caleb. I would take Penix over Caleb Williams.
But if he goes to 5-2, and then maybe you're staring opportunity, you get one of the top tackles, Brock Bowers, Marvin Harrison Jr. It's kind of a nice scenario for these Chargers if they hold on there.
It could be like that scenario. Remember a couple of years ago when it was 2016. It was the Wentz and Goff, and then the Chargers had Bosa, Ezekiel Elliott, and Jalen Ramsey. Right. And they were able to choose. The draft started with them. This potentially could be where it starts with the Chargers. The only thing I'm really questioning right now is I think the Bears could really do themselves a service if they trade down.
I'm thinking the same thing.
If the Bears,
I like what I'm seeing from Fields, Justin Fields and DJ Moore connection. Like, imagine trading down and adding like a Marvin Harrison Jr. or a Neighbors to that,
or a Brock Bowers,
or a tackle.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree.
Even like a team like say like the Patriots, like, hey, we don't feel good about Jaden Daniels. We want Caleb Williams. We got to trade up 2 spots. Imagine the bounty they could get for that. You want Caleb Williams, or here, give us a couple first-round picks, and here you go. We'll trade down a couple spots. Like the Bears.
A couple of weeks ago, it was Harbaugh to either the Chargers or the Bears, and now the Bears have kind of like rap sheet came out, and he's like, oh no, like it's not really the Bears anymore because they're going to keep Eberflus. Eberflus has basically coached himself into keeping that job for 1 more year ever since he started calling the defense.
Yeah.
And they traded for what's the name from the which one? Montez Sweat. There you go. Yeah. Yeah. Ever since they did that, that's helped their defense out a lot. You know, I think that he leads the Bears and the Commanders in sacks.
Both really?
So that's, that's pretty funny.
I don't find that hard to believe, but that's a good one.
But for the Chargers, this is a great scenario. I mean, if they can keep the 6th pick or maybe even get the 5th pick, it really starts with them. They can do anything that they want. Yeah, they could trade back, but I feel like a new GM, head coach, whoever it is, they may be kind of aggressive and maybe go, you know what? We need a playmaker. We need somebody to come in here, help us on offense.
Let me give you another question then. If it's one of the tackles, the guy from Penn State, Alabama, or Notre Dame, and you got Rashawn Slater left tackle, what do? You try to make a guy go play right tackle, you move Rashawn. Like, that's kind of always the funky scenario, but those are good tackles too.
No, yeah, it would be, but I think either Brock Bowers or one of those receivers are going to be there. Like, I feel like that's going to be their main.
You're saying if the tackles are there, you still want the weapon, either Bowers.
Yeah, I think they're going to end up going with the weapon. Yeah, because, and I'm not going to try and criticize Quentin because I don't know what Quentin can be, and I know he's gotten a lot of crap thrown at him this year, and I think it's kind of unfair because I think coaching matters in that sense too. And you don't know what he's going to be, but I know that like the quickness of Zay Flowers, the elusiveness of even Jackson Smith and Jigba, like other guys like that, like if you could add, like if the right coach could come in and maybe get the most out of Quentin, and then you throw in a Neighbors or a Marvin Harrison Jr. into that, and then Keenan,
or even the
I
kid
think,
from Washington yesterday was making a
yeah,
lot of
yeah,
plays.
that Romeo, yeah,
Yeah.
that kid, yeah. Any of those, yeah, any of those guys, or even Brock Bowers, whatever. But I'm saying, like, if you get if the right coach can come out and get the most out of those guys, especially with Justin Herbert, I mean, we've seen this year, like, it's been quarterback play has kind of gone down. Like, remember a couple of years ago, Brady threw for 5,300, Herbert threw for 5,000. Everybody was in the high 4,000s, and this year it's like everybody's barely struggling to get a 4,500. So,
Yeah.
but
so
I think
I'm
you
with
need
you,
to get the
man.
most out of your quarterback.
Because I feel like tinkering with people's, going from left to right. I think your brother's mentioned it's difficult to go from left to right,
Yeah.
and then forcing one of these top prospects they usually play left tackle or maybe Rashawn. It could be troubling. Maybe you use that. Maybe you find
You're saying
somebody
what
in
happened with
free
Sawyer.
agency. Yeah, so maybe find somebody in free agency, or you could maybe use him going back to right tackle and give up on Trey Pipkins. But yeah, I'm think I'm with you with the weapons there.
What did you make of the Michigan Alabama game?
Yeah, I was gonna be like, okay, well, now they could really talk to Jim Harbaugh because Michigan's gonna lose this game here. And until I really liked it, and people were criticizing before the play occurred on the fourth down, I think it was 4th and 2. They're really backed up, a little stadium like, right? But on the 30-yard line, and I'm like,
You're really
no,
trying
like,
to piss people off.
yeah, sorry. But I was like, nobody's scoring anything here. Like, there's no guarantee you get the ball back because yeah, your Michigan defense wasn't giving up a bunch of touchdowns, but the last few plays that Alabama got offensively, they were in a rhythm, getting some field goals and extending the lead a little more. So I'm like, I'm not mad at it. And he went for a 4th and 2, and it really ignited his offense. They went down and scored, got the overtime, and it was a classic Rose Bowl game. I'm from Pasadena, so I'm biased. So started my day at the parade, seeing the beautiful backdrop at the Rose Bowl game. I wish I was there, but I looked up at ticket price actually, and I'm like, nope, I cannot go to that game. It's too expensive. But you could tell it was worth the money because of the game, the overtime, and then Harbaugh just doing a bunch of wild antics on the sideline. Like he's always passionate and really into it. And I think the Chargers are gonna make a real run at him. We'll see. Would it be money problem? Would it be, hey, he's asking for too much? I want to control this, control that. Would the Spanos family allow him to do it? But overall, to win that game and then go to the national championship game, I don't even think he needs to win it. I think he's pretty much done what he could in college football, but it'd be pretty nice for him to win that title and then go out that way.
Yeah. No, so Athir's asking us for our thoughts on the game last night, because he thinks that the Chargers lack toughness and heart. And yeah, that's what Gilbert on What's Up Bolts. I told Dan that I had spoken to a player on the team, on the Chargers, a couple of weeks ago, and we talked about Harbaugh and everything, and they said that guy would change the culture of this team for the better. And you're just like, oh wow. And they were like, yeah, no, he would definitely come in here and he'd shape things up.
He's a hard ass old man though. Like it'd be something where like maybe after 4 or 5 years it gets a little stale. But what if he wins a lot in 4 or 5 years? Like I think it's okay to do that.
Not just that though, like it's definitely Juan, buenas tardes.
Juan,
that's what we're talking about right now, for sure. So we're talking about that, but Jorge, what's up, dude? Yes, Jorge. A player did say that about Harbaugh. We were having a discussion about that. But definitely, that's the thing though. If he comes in, he's won at USD's program was just whatever's, and Harbaugh turned it into okay, there you go. Wow, what an interesting thing down there. Stanford, he turned it into a winner. He goes to San Francisco. He has them go back to the Super Bowl. Michigan's about is close to winning a national championship, and they did it against Nick Saban's Alabama, where they beat them. Like a lot of people thought that Nick Saban's team was going to beat them, and they controlled the football. I know they turned it over once or twice, but they really did a really good job. Their defense did a great job. So
Fernando, if it wasn't for that 4th down, I'm telling you, Alabama would have scored and probably had a bigger lead, and that game would have been over. So that was Harbaugh changing the momentum right there.
Another thing is too, and Athir is hitting it right here, but he's hitting it differently. He's saying that Herbert will be awesome with his new coach. What I'm going to say now is Herbert's having too much turnover right now in the NFL. Like it's now 2 head coaches, 3 offensive coordinators, in about to be his 5th season. That's a lot of turnover.
You're
You
not
need
even counting
somebody
Oregon. The changes
exactly.
there.
Exactly. So you need somebody who's going to be here for the long run. You need somebody who's going to be here and like you said, even if it gets stale whatever, that doesn't like as long as you win and you win a Super Bowl or something like
Or
cuz you
even
know
take it.
yeah,
Like
you
the
know
years with the 49ers, I'm sure Chargers fans will take those 4 years, right? Like the playoffs, getting to Super Bowl. Obviously, you want to win it all, but
no,
they were fun years.
there's an individual in my household that would have a heart attack if they don't win it all. But
He's never seen them. Well, I guess in '94 he was alive, but
and you know, I know that Cowherd is plugged in with the Chargers because he got to go to he got to be in the draft room one time, and Cowherd was saying that the Chargers are, and I mean, you kind of know, I mean, you kind of know this too. They're kind of ticked off at the they're cheap thing. I mean, and I'm sure everybody said that they're cheap. I mean, I've heard about it since they were in San Diego.
well,
I've
that's the
seen
thing,
all
Fernando.
that
Like,
stuff.
I think they're gonna make a run at Harbaugh just to say, "Hey, we tried." But how
Yeah.
genuine is that effort gonna be? You're gonna go all the way in, or we're gonna be like, "Hey, you know what? We tried, and you guys could shut up about us being cheap." I want to see a full effort. Where like, if it gets to a wild point, we're like, "Hey, he wants like a 10% share of the team." Okay, fine. You don't go and get Harbaugh, but like, really kind of say, "Okay, man, we're here. We're ready. Come over. Here are some of the requirements. We'll do this. We'll do that. We won't do this. Let's make a deal."
I don't think you can miss on this. Like the only way I can see the only way I can see them missing on this is if he says, "You know what? I'm going to go back to Michigan because I want to stay here. I want to be there." But if he goes to like the Raiders or like the Commanders and they let him slip, then
Yeah.
they're Charger fans are usually not unified on a lot of things. Like they're unified on Herbert and they're
Yeah.
unified on some things, but this is one thing that I've seen a lot of Charger fans like unified on that they want
Even all the
Harbaugh as the
LA
head coach.
writers who were at the game yesterday at the Rose Bowl said, "Chargers, you go get Jim Harbaugh." Everybody just said, "Go and do it."
Plashke
Yeah.
wrote that Plashke put like this has to be like this has to be the Chargers going and getting him. And I mean, we all saw Uncle Joe Reedy's video where he asked him about the Chargers rumors and everything. And like I said, like you have the Raiders right behind them. I've heard the Commanders as well. So I mean, you're gonna have teams that are going after him, but that's the thing that's gonna be the interesting part about this, and it's going to be a matter of control because I'm still waiting.
Yeah. We need Dan to jump in like, it better be Harbaugh.
Well, I mean, and honestly, like it just seems like it just like the perfect time for them. Like it feels like it is the perfect time, especially if he wins its national championship. Gilbert, it's not like in the NFL. They don't have to wait until February to basically hire this guy because in college football, it's over next Monday. Next Tuesday, they could interview him and already kind of get that going in a sense. So
imagine come to Disneyland, win that title, and then go interview for the job right there, Costa Mesa, Anaheim. A little close. Huh?
I mean, that's what I'm saying. But like, it just feels like, but like the thing is, they have had a lot of swings and misses, and I know that they've said, "Oh, well, Staley was wanted by the Eagles," and yeah, he was. But this is kind of like you can't like this is, and I'm not one of these people that like says like, "Oh, it's do or die here," but damn, bro, like this is you don't hit on this coach, like this is gonna be very rough because like and that's the thing, it's all about coming full circle, and it feels like this is a coming of full circle. Like this guy was your he was your quarterback for a while, then he went to USD. A lot of people here, because I've talked to journalists that used to cover the team back when in those San Diego days, a lot of people thought that Jim Harbaugh eventually was going to be the head coach of the San Diego Chargers after being at USD for a couple of years, maybe go to Stanford and then come over and take over the San Diego Chargers. But obviously he ended up going to San Francisco because the Chargers still had a Norv Turner and they believed in Norv Turner for some odd reason. But well, and it's because Philip loved Norv Turner. But I just think here you can't miss. Like this is very important. And I saw Josina Anderson's tweet where she added she put Dan Quinn because with Dan Quinn
was mentioned too.
Yeah, when it's Dan Quinn, you can basically keep Kellen Moore. which Kellen Moore, I have a lot of questions about. Yeah, there's a lot of.
I feel like if you get Dan Quinn, you're probably gonna get like a GM that's gonna make his own shots. Like if it's Bill Belichick or Harbaugh, it's gonna be a GM listening to those coaches. But with the new GM, if it is Dan Quinn, want Kellen Moore after seeing that offense? I don't think so. And real quick, Fernando here, House of Horns comment: the Raiders are also in Harbaugh, in on the bidding war with Jim Harbaugh, and that's kind of the rumor. Like supposedly they're gonna take a swing at Belichick and Harbaugh, and if they miss, cool, Antonio Pierce is there. So it's gonna be maybe a little war there for Harbaugh. So you got to make it happen. And real quick, because I see this cool comment here from Danny.
I swear to God, I thought that was my brother.
Oh, Danny Ramirez, is it?
No, that's not him. What's up, Danny? How are you doing?
Thank you so much. I'm a Bears fan. Came across your podcast and enjoying the dialogue. I appreciate that. We love new people who stumble on the channel. And real quick, Danny, give us your response. Do you want Justin Fields there? Because Fernando and I seem to be in the same thinking. We're keep Fields and then trade down for a boatload of draft picks. Let us know in the comments if you can.
Because honestly, the Bears have a really good team and they're building something. I think they're building something pretty unique there where they could be back. And Seth Rollins pretty soon might not be tweeting, "I hate football." He might be tweeting he loves football. But yeah, no, Humberto's got it. Like,
okay,
Charger fans are 100% unanimously all in for Harbaugh. The Bolts brass better not mess this one up. Yeah, that's what I'm telling you, Gilbert. Like, and going back to what House of Horn said, I mean, there might be a bidding war. The one thing that I'm wondering is with the Raiders, you're still paying McDaniels, you're still paying who? Gruden, and you're still paying the GM. On top of that,
what's your cheaper to get Pierce, right?
Yeah, that's the thing. It's cheaper to keep Pierce. It's cheaper to keep her. And then and my other question is your fan base going to be split ongoing? Like, there's a lot of Raider fans that I've noticed that they want to keep Antonio Pierce, and I'm sure they want Jim Harbaugh too. The only question I have there is, would Jim Harbaugh want to go there, especially with the quarterback position? Like, what's going to happen there? Like, and the thing, but like, there's negatives about everything, because like you're looking at the Chargers and like, yeah, Justin Herbert, crap, like you want him. But then there's roster questions. Yeah. There's ownership questions.
But the Raiders have no issues giving away power to a coach, John Gruden.
But that's what I'm saying. There's ownership questions. Then you look at the Raiders and you have roster questions. You have quarterback questions. You have some ownership questions, but not the same as the Chargers. Like you said, Mark Davis is willing to give. But that's the thing, though, Gilbert. And that's what we've been saying on the show. And that's what Dan and Dago's been saying. That's, I think, what you've been saying as well. They need to get back to the Raider way. Yeah. It kind of feels like Antonio Pierce is the Raider way, but I agree. I think Vic said it. They need to get a better OC.
Oh, yeah.
That's the thing. They need to go get a brainiac OC.
And a quarterback. That's a
no, quarterback, yes. But they need to go get an OC like Patrick, like an equal to Patrick Graham on the offensive side of the football, and maybe attack it that way. I honestly think that they should keep Antonio Pierce and
I'm with you. I know he had a rough fourth quarter in Indy with he got really conservative with some play calls. He had like a kind of questionable punt. He got a field goal. Went for the field goal and the 15-yard line. But man, like, you don't have a quarterback. You're kind of one-dimensional, so I'm okay with it.
Or it says bidding war my ass. No way they can allow the Raiders to get Harbaugh in the division with Sean Payton.
Call bluff too, because like, hey, they don't got a quarterback. We got Justin freaking Herbert. You want this deal or not? So yeah,
that's why I'm saying, like, this is a no-brainer. Like, you have all the chips. You have to go in there and you have to basically nail this interview with him. Like, there's no way you can come out of this without him. But going back to what Jorge said, can you imagine if it was like, let's just say the Chargers do get Harbaugh, and let's just say Bill Belichick goes to the Raiders. Can you imagine like that division, like Sean Payton, Andy Reid, Jim Harbaugh, and Bill Belichick in the division? Like, that would be like a crazy, like,
imagine having dinner with four of those guys. Yeah.
They should do they should not do a Hard Knocks, but just with the coaches. Like just follow around the
I'm
coaches.
paying
Like,
Harbaugh, who's the biggest hard ass on that one. Even Bill Belichick too. And then you got
I'm
Jill
telling you,
and Andy Reid just going with the vibes, like
eating
pretty cool.
cheeseburgers and hanging out and stuff. Have you watched the Prime documentary?
On
Amazon Prime.
But which one?
The one where they fall Prime. Deion Sanders.
Oh, Deion.
Yeah.
Confusing with Amazon Prime. And
my bad. But it's on Prime. My bad.
Barry Sanders documentary. I do want to watch that.
No.
But real quick, I have not seen it. But you want to answer Danny's or respond to Danny?
Oh yeah. In my opinion, I believe the answer is to build around Fields and stockpile the talent to see him grow. I also agree with that. That would be really smart.
Good thinking here, Danny.
Yeah, we have a unique situation, and Bears need to take advantage of all the picks that they could receive. And honestly, the GM, he's a smart guy. Like he's a really smart guy, and I think he would definitely it's what's his name, right?
Ryan Poles.
We saw him in the elevator. Brad Holmes.
No, Ryan Poles.
No, Ryan Poles. Yeah. We saw him in the elevator after the game. Yeah, no, that definitely would be.
We're talking about the Lions GM, Brad Holmes. Yeah.
Yeah, we saw him too, but my bad.
Yeah, it's funny because every time we come out of the sofa, the GMs are coming there, and we seen Brad Holmes. We saw Aussie Newsome too, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, we almost got into the elevator with all. Who's the one that they almost let us in the? Thea, write your question again. My bad. I thought I had answered it. We almost got into the elevator with Aussie Newsome. I think that would have been interesting.
No, he didn't get on, and then supposedly I wasn't there for that game, but there was a funny story from the Broncos one. But I'll just leave it at
that. Oh yeah. To coach the Bolts would be a career.
Is that Delbert? Oh, he's from House of Horns. Yeah.
That's interesting. Oh, I thought I had seen his name before. Juan, I don't know, dude. That would I don't know. That would definitely
I honestly feel like it's like either go back to Michigan or Chargers. I don't know if the Raiders would be willing to go all in or even another team. So, and then also like maybe like if it's money thing, the Panthers, like what do you want to go work with Tepper, who has a temper,
by the way, hold on that one. Tepper just got fined $300,000 for
the throwing the drink.
I thought he was going to get suspended, to be honest. Thea, send me, my bad. Send me your question. I thought we had answered it. But it would be interesting if Gilbert could pull some strings, and if Harbaugh does sign with the Chargers, he jumps on the show with us. I mean,
yeah,
I would ask him different stuff though, nothing about football, because
maybe
I don't think he would answer any of that.
If he wins the national title, I'll go stalk him in Anaheim for the Disneyland trip.
Michigan, what did you say? Michigan DC will become will come with Harbaugh. What do you expect next season? I say top 15 easily. What do you say, Gilbert? That's what he's asking.
Top 15 what? The defense?
Yeah.
The defense kind of impressed me yesterday. I'm not gonna act like I'm a whole college football expert, but hey, I know people are a little hesitant in bringing coaches from the college ranks, but we've seen a bunch pay off. Even Jim's brother, John Harbaugh, bringing in Mike McDonald, but he did start with the Ravens, so maybe that's kind of an exception. But getting guys from the college game, nothing wrong with that, because the people from college they're not afraid to experiment, and when you experiment, you get ahead of the curve. You're not copying people, so I do like that kind of mentality.
Yeah, no, I agree. Danny, the reason why I feel like that happened though with Harbaugh was because like it sounds like the Chargers would be willing. I think if it's Harbaugh, it'd be letting Harbaugh choose his general manager. I think that's kind of the way this kind of sounds like it would happen, because I don't think they've said and it's guys, Danny meant friction, not fiction. So not create, it's create friction.
But we're all assuming too, Fernando. Maybe he wants his own. Maybe he's like, you know what do you got? What's the list here? Let me see who I like, kind of thing.
Yeah, no. Yeah, but I mean, obviously, it's also lose a draft pick. Should lose a draft pick. But yeah, I definitely think it'd be interesting. I think it'd be a solid move for these guys. I mean, what else do you have to? By the way, somebody was saying right now they're expecting your music to hit when we talk about Harbaugh, and you jump on.
All right.
Yeah. No, we are. Yeah. he's all he's like, really? But definitely I think they're gonna have to, you're gonna have to, if you're gonna want to get a guy like Harbaugh, you're gonna to not have that friction. I think you're gonna have to let him choose his own guy, in a sense. I don't know what you think.
Yeah, no, like either he has a guy in mind, or maybe like I mentioned, check out the poll candidates that the Chargers have, and like let him be there with the interviews and see. Okay, you know what, I vibe with this guy. So he's also been kind of. I know he has connections through his brother, and he
What do you think
obviously.
about khakis?
Yeah, hey, you're like Kakis. All right, get that guy, boom, boom to the top. But like he's been in the college game so long that maybe like his network of pool people in the NFL maybe is a little smaller. Maybe probably not because his brother. But I would not be surprised he was kind of going in. All right, who do you got? Let's talk about it. And like at least when you hire him first,
maybe he goes into the Baltimore pool and snatches somebody from out over
imagine,
there.
yeah, and which is a good pool to get people from. Which I think I've been reading that supposedly the Commanders want to copy that model, so they might get their people from there. So it could be a little competition there. But you know what? Maybe we're overthinking the whole control thing, and maybe he's fine and he wants to do it right. He's also learned from the 49ers stint, right?
Yeah.
Where it went south too quickly. So things like that too. And then
but we just knew that Tom Telesco and him just wouldn't mesh.
Yeah. So so I think this all kind of paved the way for that. And even I've read stories from the 49ers ownership saying like, yeah, we learned a lot from Harbaugh. We kind of messed that up too on our end. And look at them now; they're thriving because they're letting people do their jobs, right?
Yeah.
So there was a whole friction between Harbaugh trying to do too much and the ownership saying, "No, you can't do this." And both sides are actually doing well since they separated.
Jorge wants you on. He said, "Bring Dan on, get the music going." Jorge, what do you want from Dan to talk about on the pod, so that we can feature that when we first start off on the pod? What do you want Dan to talk about so we can do that just for you, Jorge? We're gonna get that going. So you tell us and in the comments right now, and we'll get Dan to talk about it. But yeah, no, definitely, Gilbert. I definitely agree with you on all that. And you know what? That was actually a good point by you about okay, he wants you to talk about Harbaugh, so make sure you talk about Harbaugh. But Gilbert, that's a good point that the 49ers also learn from their mistakes, and that's an interesting point because I think Harbaugh took a lot of that blame. And I don't think it was just on him. It's always a two-way
street. They tried getting Tom Sula to be a coach. Didn't work. They tried getting Chip Kelly. Didn't work. They're like, all right, crap. We got to change everything because apparently we're the problem too.
Tom Sula and Chip Kelly got 5-year deals, I think.
Yeah.
And they only lasted 1 year.
Both for one and done. Yeah, actually back to back.
Yeah.
That's when they're like, oh crap, we might be the drama here. So they look in the mirror and they fix it up.